Welcome to Business Analysis. This is just a sample course in Brightspace. So again, this is a summer one, so it's 8 weeks. Yours could look different, but I just want to do a brief introduction into Brightspace and the course itself. So this is your course home, and you'll have announcements that will pop up here every Monday. So always take a minute to read those. Then in the Lessons tab, you will have a Start Here folder or option. And then if you go down through here, all you have to do is click over there to the left, and it will populate on the right with what that is. So this is a little course overview. The class syllabus. Now, the class syllabus doesn't come across awesome. You may want, I guess it looks okay. Like the font and stuff looks a little bit different. If you want to save that to your computer, feel free. But all the important information is here and you can see it. And then your master syllabus. Again, I feel like it's just like the font or something looks a little bit off in there. Now, let me go back to that class syllabus. Definitely take the time, though, to read through your class syllabus because it is like the contract of the class. Everything that you need to know is in here, how your grade's determined is in here. So take the time to read through it and make sure you do understand, like, my expectations of you as a student, when the due dates are, how the tests are going to be set up. Again, tests are extremely important in this class. If you go back and look at those points, they're the vast majority of the points that you're going to get awarded. If we keep going down, it gives you your withdrawal date, and then way at the bottom is a calendar. So this gives you all your due dates. Your due dates are also maintained in the My Math Lab site. But I'll keep going back through here. So again, here, if you just want to jump to say, okay, well, what are the grades? So like I said, your tests are very important. They're the vast majority of your grade in this class. So you don't want to miss any of those. Your instant access, you will get an email from our college bookstore. It's a lengthy email, but if you go to your email account and you search instant access, you will find that email, and then within it, there's going to be a code. You need to copy that code, and then when you set up your My Math Lab account, you will use that code. So the payment for the My Math Lab is included in your course. The other thing that we currently have for this class is supplemental instruction. So there's various times via Zoom that you can get help. You don't have to worry like you're going to have to turn your camera on or anything like that if you don't want to. It's just a place for you to go and talk to an instructor and have them work through some of the material that might be a little bit fuzzy for you or that you need a little bit of help on. So check that tab out and see those times. Then here is your My Math Lab link. And again, that is where all of your homework and your ebook are going to be located. Then in week 1, this again, I'll just show you a sample one. All of the weeks, again, this is an 8-week class, but 16 weeks will be set up the same way. You'll have a PowerPoint where I go over, a YouTube video where I go over the PowerPoint. You'll have the PowerPoint itself. Again, this is more of a math class, so there's not real lengthy PowerPoints, but if you give it a second, it'll pop up and show you that PowerPoint, possibly a little longer than a second since it's still thinking about it. There it goes. But then you don't even have to open it though, or download it. It's just going to show up right here, and then you can scan through that. Same with the notes. You don't have to download them. They're going to just show up to the right. Again, just be a little bit patient. It'll eventually pop open. And then look at my notes, because sometimes I will approach the math problems a little bit differently than the textbook, and then it just gives you another way to look at stuff. So read through my notes for each chapter, and I do examples in there. Then I do some of the textbook exercises worked out, not a ton. I do like maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 for each section. And then what I've done in here again is show you the problem and then work it out. So if we look, so it's like a snapshot of the book, and then down below I've worked them out so you can see them. Is that the same as this one? Okay, no, then I have my YouTube videos. So then for each chapter, I should also have a YouTube video where you're going to watch me do it on the board. And then again, we start, then we start into the next chapter. So each chapter you'll have the YouTube video of me going over the PowerPoint itself, the chapter notes, some exercises worked out within that chapter, and then a YouTube video of me working problems out on the board. So that'll be all of your lessons. Now let me go down. If we keep going down, so I'm going to skip over that next chapter. Then if we go down, then here are your links to your homework. So once you have my math lab created, that account created, these links will just be live. You click them and you're going to pop into the homework. And then it should pop you up, keep it going, into the My Math Lab, where then it's going to give you like when is it due, how many attempts do you get. So notice I give you a ton of attempts, and then the questions. And then there's also this skill builder for most of the chapters, not all of them, but that can also help you. And there'll be like show me an example, help me solve this, all kinds of help aids through the homework. And then once you submit the homework, you can go back into My Math Lab, into the Grade Center, and then look at the homework. You can't go back through the same link in Brightspace, but you can go back through the My Math Lab. So let me see if I can go back. I guess just close that homework. Let me just close that out. Okay. And then you'll have, if we get into your tests, you'll have there's a practice quiz, which is not for a grade, that's just for practice. This review quiz is a grade, and it's a prerequisite to open up test 1. So you get 2 attempts at it. You have to get a 60% or better to open up your first test. If you don't, then reach out to your instructor and ask for another attempt, because the point is not to stop you from taking the test. It's to make sure you're prepared to take the test. So take this first, make sure you're comfortable and you're ready, and then you can move on and take your test. And your test will have a lockdown browser, and you have to submit it in 1 attempt. And it's timed. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay. So that's kind of how My Math Lab will be set up. You'll be able to monitor your grades as they post. It's pretty quick with the My Math Lab. It's not instantaneous, but it's within normally minutes that grade will populate over into Brightspace. So hopefully that all makes sense. Let's see, let's go back to that course home. So again, watch your announcements. And again, you can get into your grades and your calendar. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything you have. Again, if you have any questions at all, reach out to your instructor.